Hi, everyone, and welcome to a floral pumpkin centerpiece class that we're going to be doing together today. We are going to be taking the Michael's Craft pumpkin and we are definitely going to elevate them into something really lovely that I think that you can use all season long. So I love these pumpkin floral centerpieces, especially for a Thanksgiving table. So just imagine it being a beautiful centerpiece around all your friends and family for Thanksgiving. But what's nice about it is that it can go all the way through October and all the way through November. So if we make it now, it's one that can really last and really make a cool impact in your living room, on your dining room table, wherever you might want to put it. So I'm so glad that so many of you have joined me live today, and you can always check this video out later on YouTube. So if you don't have your materials yet and you want to run to the store and grab some after you see this, you'll kind of have a better idea of what to do with all the different materials. So I made a shopping list for today that included lots of bushes and stems and things. I'm giving you a suggested shopping list of some of the materials that I use to create this particular one that I'm holding right here. But I really want you to use your own imagination and your own creativity, and especially choose your own colors, choose your own flowers. I'm sure that you have favorites that may or may not be my favorites. So I did have a couple of other pumpkin centerpieces on my own personal Instagram, which is the number 4M Coleman. So you can check those out. There's one that's kind of more goth and kind of black with some teal and some black flowers in it. So if you want that kind of feel, or if you want a very traditional fall or even a traditional kind of Halloween, you can do that too. And you can always deck these out with some of our cool picks as well. So at Michael's, we always have these cute little picks for different holidays and things. I love these little woodland creatures. How adorable are those? So you can really just add these into your floral arrangements too. There are ones that also say things like fall or happy Halloween or happy Thanksgiving. So if you want some kind of sentiment or something kind of cutesy to kind of add some whimsy, you can do that too with some of the different picks. So today we are going to be digging into a craft pumpkin. I'm going to be using a 9-inch craft pumpkin. What's cool about the Michael's pumpkins is that they are carvable. So not every plastic pumpkin or kind of fake pumpkin that you buy is carvable, but Michael's are craft pumpkins. And so you definitely can dig into this. You can dig into it with the traditional kind of pumpkin carving kit. Anything you would carve a normal pumpkin with, you can carve our craft pumpkins with. But on top of that, you can also carve them with a hot knife. So if you want to use a hot knife to cut into this, you can do that as well. I'm going to be using kind of like a box cutter sort of situation. So however you want to do that, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to give us some more space in order to create our floral design by kind of cutting around this pumpkin stem and removing that. So that's what we're going to be doing with this box cutter. We're going to be cutting in and making a shape so that we can pull it out. And the inside of this craft pumpkin is hollow. So from there, we'll be using some floral foam and some different things, and then we'll really start putting our arrangement together to build something quite beautiful. These pumpkins come in different colors, and they definitely come in different sizes. So whatever meets your needs. I obviously used an orange pumpkin for this one, but I'll be using a white pumpkin right now. You might also be able to see behind me this white pumpkin that kind of has some pinks and oranges and things like that. You'll also see behind me, this one in the middle that's purple is a class that's coming up. I don't remember if it's next week or the week after that, but we also have diorama pumpkins. So they already have that hole cut out in them. And then you can put a bunch of our little miniatures inside. So we're going to be playing around with the miniatures and the dioramas a little bit later in October. So please come back and join us for that. And then I also have a paint pouring class coming up in October where we're going to paint pour pumpkins. So this one over here is a paint poured pumpkin. So just using some acrylic paint and making something cool. Now you can use this paint pour pumpkin after you've painted it and still cut into it and then kind of combine the craft from today and that craft together to make a paint pour pumpkin centerpiece, which I think could be really cool too. So here comes the box cutter, and I'm going to dig into this. And my recommendation, of course, is be careful. And also, you're going to be cutting like a polygon. So you're going to be cutting straight lines. So probably about 2 inches down from the pumpkin is where you want to kind of start digging in and do straight lines. Don't try to do curves. And you can dig into this pumpkin. And it carves really similar to an actual pumpkin. So it's going to take a little bit of pressure and it's going to take a little bit of work, just like a regular pumpkin will too.
And
Feel
Meghan,
free to use a large one.
Can you kind of bring your screen down just a tad bit?
Sure. So that you can see it a little better.
Yes, right there.
There you go. Cool. And so once I kind of get to a spot, then I'm going to turn. And like I said, I'm making kind of like a polygon. So it's going to be straight sides. I'm not trying to do curves. And then this is also kind of creating pieces for when I put it back together. So, you know, nothing like doing this live and making sure I don't cut myself in front of everyone because that would be terrible. So I do need to take my time and be patient so that I don't hurt myself. But I'm doing it. Don't worry. And once I have this pumpkin to where it is hollow and I can take the lid off, then I'm also going to add in some stability, and I'm going to be adding in rocks. And the rocks that I'm using are going to be weighing down my pumpkin. It's light. It's not terribly light, but once you have a lot of flowers in it, you want to give it some extra oomph so that it can really kind of sit somewhere and not be afraid of falling over. So I'm about halfway through my cut. I've done it with a big carving knife and it's even easier than this box cutter, but I thought it might be a little intimidating for you to see me with a giant carving knife on the screen. That might be concerning to you. So I chose this box cutter for today. And it's gonna work. So don't you worry. There are rocks that are at Michael's, but I'm not going to be using those. I'm just going to be using some that I have. I paint a lot of rocks in my free time. I love painting rocks. That's one of my hobbies. So I have a bunch that are always on my back porch, ready to be painted. So I'm going to be filling the bottom of this pumpkin with those rocks. So I think this might be the hardest part of this project, and we're almost through with it. And so far, safety has been number one. So let me know in the chat if you have ever made one of these before, or if you are interested in making one and have already bought some supplies. So I sent a link over to Felicia that she can jump into the, she can put into the chat of the selection of Michael's floral, fall floral collection. So here comes the grand reveal. I've reached the end. And now I should be able to take this off. Ta-da! And we have the inside of our hollow pumpkin. Applause is necessary. You can keep this. And before I put a dowel rod on this before, and then kind of like popped it out like a little teapot kind of situation where there's flowers coming out and then the little nod to the hat of the pumpkin kind of sticking out. So feel free to save this because you might want to make that part of your centerpiece. Now I do have some rocks. So these are just some rocks that I have that I'm putting into the bottom of the pumpkin to give it some extra weight. There we go. Much more stable. And then I'm going to use some green Floracraft foam. This is dry foam because the flowers I'm working with today are all faux floral. So there's wet foam and there's dry foam. I obviously only need dry foam because they're fake. I don't need any moisture in here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this into 2 different pieces so that I can have a couple different places to be putting my stems into it. So I'm using that same box cutter and I'm cutting through this green foam, snapping it in half, and I'm stuffing it into this pumpkin. So you can see that I have these foam pieces. You do not need to fill up the entire space with foam. It's fine if I want to add more foam or not, But all of this foam, what it's doing is it's giving me spaces to be able to press these different stems in. So it's giving me options on how to arrange my flowers. So the foam is in there. It's looking pretty good. If you want to add more, you can, but you don't have to. This should be plenty.
Hey, Megan, quick question.
Sure.
Would it be better to had, and it's just a question, would it be better to had maybe glued the foam down and then put the rocks around it as an option?
That is a good question. And you absolutely can. The rocks, what I'm also using the rocks for is to give me like an extra height so that I don't have to use as much foam. So I'm kind of raising the foam up using the rocks, but I could still potentially kind of glue these to the side. And I've also done it before where I've kind of used masking tape, and masking tape can be hidden by all the other floral pieces we're going to put in here, but it can kind of help keep that together if you want to, and it will be hidden. You can also put some more rocks around the foam once you have it if you're afraid of it kind of moving it around too much. So you're welcome to keep doing that. So yeah, either go ahead and use 2 giant bricks of the foam and glue them to the bottom as Felicia suggested. Or if you want to kind of save on foam, or if you only have 1 piece of foam, you can go ahead and kind of use the rocks to elevate it. So now that I have that in there, I'm going to talk about my different flowers. Whenever I'm doing kind of like a floral piece, I like to think about one of the flowers to be like the star of the show. So for this pumpkin, I think the star of my show is going to be some mums. So we have really beautiful colored large mums. We have lots of different sizes of mums at Michael's too, and lots of different colors. So these are a little bit larger than these ones, and the way that they poof out are a little different. So sometimes it's nice to have different sizes too, so that you can have a little bit more variety in your floral piece. I love some Pampas, which is like this, almost like a feather kind of feel. And what I use this for is something that I call the spiller. So a spiller in a floral arrangement is something that kind of flows or something that kind of spills out. So I like to have a thriller, which is kind of the star of my show. I like to have a filler, which kind of fills in some of the gaps and gives me some more oomph. And then I like to have a spiller that kind of falls off and kind of gives it some different levels and different layers. I love this stuff. It's so pretty. And it comes in lots of different colors. You'll notice I'm working with some navies, I'm working with some reds, oranges, and yellows. But again, you can pick your different color combinations that work for you in your home too. So this is called a bush, and a bush has lots of separate stems. So all of these stems at Michael's that come together on this bush are wire. So you're going to need wire cutters in order to break these apart. So when I'm breaking my mums apart first, I'm going to choose maybe one at a time and go down to the stem and find a spot to use my wire cutter and kind of cut that stem apart from the rest. Now I'm going to cut several of these stems of mum off of my bush, but I'm going to leave a couple on my bush for a reason, because this is a pretty long, thick piece of wire down here, and it's kind of like a waxy plastic that wraps around it. So I want to keep some of these pretty tall so that I can have some height in my piece. If I cut them all short, see how much of that height I'm losing. This white one is so much shorter than the others. So you're going to leave a couple of the mums on this actual bush with this long extra stem so that we have some that will be high. And then we'll use some of these smaller ones I'm cutting off now to kind of fill in along the side and kind of give us some more variety. So I'm going to go through and just kind of, they're wire, so you can bend them however you need to, and then cut them with your wire cutters. I'm going to do a couple of the different colors, and I'm probably only going to leave about 2 or 3 on the remaining piece of this bush. And there are wire cutters that are in the Ashland section, which is our floral section at Michael's, are the Ashland products. So you can use some bigger floral pieces rather than smaller wire cutters that I was trying to use. So now I have about these 3 that are still here on my bush. If I want these stems, these leaves can move up and down. So you can kind of move these towards your bloom if you want them up, or you can kind of leave them in the center depending where you need some green in your arrangement. And I'm going to go ahead and take this really thick piece and kind of stick it into my foam. And that's going to give me my first piece to work with. Oops. Oh, throwing my rocks around. There we go. I might need some of that masking tape I was telling you about to kind of keep that in place. But once we get going, we'll kind of see how this is all coming together. Now I have these little pieces to play with too. So I'm just going to put a couple of them in. And then I'm going to move on to one of my next pieces, which might be like the filler. So this is just placing a couple. Nothing is permanent. I'm not gluing anything down. So this is just kind of for now. You also need to kind of decide, is your centerpiece going to be something that is 360 degrees? Is everybody going to see all angles of it? Or is it going to sit against a wall? If it's going to sit against a wall, then you don't have to worry about the back end. You can really just focus on the one side. But if you are planning to put it on a table where everyone can see, keep moving your arrangement around as you go to make sure you don't have any holes or anything that looks kind of off. This next piece I'm going to use is called Ranunculus. And it's really pretty in the fall, and it's got this beautiful blue color. So I'm going to do the same kind of thing where I'm going to take parts of this off of the larger bush and make them into some smaller stems that I can start to stick into my floral foam. So if you have questions as we go, make sure that you put those in the chat. I'd love to answer them. So I started with my thriller, like, ooh, those mums are really catching my attention. Now I'm moving on to some filler, which is going to start filling in some of that blank space. And then I'll start adding in some greenery and some different things too that are kind of more like spillers that spill in and give it some dimension. I'll consider leaving a couple of these on the stem also so that I can have some height if I need it or want it. But a lot of these pieces are taller, so it seems to be going well. So now I'm just kind of putting into the foam. And I'm kind of going around and putting them in as I go. And start to fill it in some of those gaps. And you can always pull these back out and put them in differently later, but we're just starting to fill things in. So one of the big things with floral arrangements is trust the process. It's not done yet, so it does not look beautiful yet. Trust the process. You're not going to stop until you like it, and you have plenty of things to play with until you do like it. I have another bush of mums, so I'm going to use those. If you have sunflowers, sunflowers are also a nice filler or thriller. Dahlias are beautiful, peonies are beautiful. Any of those things would be great in this arrangement. So I would say probably 3 bunches of flowers would be a nice number for you. And then you also want some greenery or something kind of to fill that in with, maybe some wheatgrass, maybe some pampas, things like that. So I have all these different mums, and I don't necessarily need any of those to be super tall since I already have the height of my piece going. And then again, I can move these leaves up and down. So you don't have to cut those off if you don't like them. You can move them into a different position and then go ahead and start putting them in. So the name of the game is to kind of just get started, put things in, and then keep rearranging until you like it. Another good tip is that sometimes you're too close to it, so you might need to put it somewhere with a pretty neutral or blank background behind it. And then take a picture of it and look at what the picture looks like. Because sometimes when you're seeing it right in your face, you can't really see the holes, or you can't really see what you like or don't like. But if you kind of zoom out by using a picture and looking at it that way instead, that might help you. Excuse me. This is starting to come together already. I like the height. but I do want to add some things that have a little bit of height to kind of match that, not overpower it, but to kind of match it. So with this one, there's some extra little pieces at the end that are kind of like notches in the wax or in the plastic. I'm using this to kind of bend back and forth to kind of, the reason why it's there is because this is a lot of wires all together at the same spot. So I'm kind of giving myself a head start on cutting it by kind of moving it and bending it back and forth because it is a big stack of wires I'm trying to cut through. And so maybe I take off an inch of this height and not use the entire height. So here's those metal wires that are in there. I'm bending it back and forth to kind of break those wires up and make it a little bit easier on me to cut. And then I still have some height, but not as much height, so that I'm trying to like match the height of this mum or go a little bit lower than it so that it doesn't stick out and it kind of blends in. I might even want that a little bit lower. So I'll try and push that further into my foam. There we go. Awesome. So this is starting to come together and I'm going to keep working, so I'm not done yet. When you have something like the pampas, it also comes apart into lots of different pieces. So don't just stick the whole entire thing in one piece. Go ahead and use these different pieces to your advantage so that you can kind of give some balance. So if you put all of one in one side, it might look funny, or that might be the look that you're going for. So that's kind of up to you too. But I'm going to take these apart and I'm going to use these 4 different pieces. Let me show you a little height again. There we go. So these I'm going to kind of pull, and they come together in these different stems. And then you can use those stems and kind of push those into your foam. So what I love about these is that it gives that flow. So it gives a really cool kind of flowy feel to your piece. So I'm going to cut these apart or pull these apart and use them like that. Here's another really cool flowy piece. Kind of make all the pieces go in the same direction. Throw it over here. Give it that. So let me know. Oh, question. Sunflowers are great fillers. More great fillers are carnations, daisies, mums. Some of the like thrillers I like to use are peonies. Peonies are beautiful. Dahlias make for great centerpieces or kind of just focal points because they're so big and beautiful. These are, I didn't put these in the shopping list, but these are some beautiful dark blue peonies. And so you can see how large those blooms are, and that can really fill this up and really be, whoa, take a look at that. So I already have the ranunculus with kind of like that blue look, so I didn't feel like I needed these, but these could be the star of a whole new show if you think about it that way. You can also use roses. And another thing I want to show you are these beautiful little bouquets. So Michael sells kind of pre-selected, put together bouquets. So this bouquet has some peonies, it has some ranunculus, it has thrillers, fillers, and spillers in it. So if you don't want to pick things out for yourself, go ahead and grab maybe 2 or 3 of these little bundles. And then in the same way that we were doing before, you can cut them apart and you can kind of use them and place them. Now, the only thing about these is that they're a little bit shorter than the larger bushes that I'm using. So you might want to work with a smaller pumpkin. So instead of a 9-inch pumpkin, you might want to work with a 6-inch pumpkin, and then you probably only need 2 of these cute little bouquets, and then you're going to be good to go. And believe it or not, I think these are only like $6.50 right now. They're already on sale. So go ahead and grab you some of these because they're beautiful, have lots of pieces that we can use, and we could fill into a larger piece also. And speaking of spillers, I have some wheatgrass, I have some berry bush. These are all kind of examples of spillers that would be good to use. Wheatgrass, different ornamental grasses, any of those, kind of like a dried flower feel, might look pretty in this fall arrangement. So just like everything else, they kind of come apart and you just need to find how to pull them apart and how to cut them so that you can use different pieces of it. And kind of that tip I gave you before of leave a couple on the larger piece just to have some height options. These move around a lot, so keep that in mind that if you don't like where it's at, you can move those up and down and it can give a different look. You don't want, just like in real flowers, you don't want all your leaves to be in the water because obviously they're going to start decaying faster. You want to move those leaves up since we can on fake flowers. Or if you were doing a real floral arrangement, you'd need to cut those leaves off because you don't want to get all that nasty stuff in your water. So then you can just start getting these in and it gives you some more of that flow. So it gives you some of that spill. Hydrangeas are also great for spillage. So hydrangeas can be fillers depending on how you use them. Or if you have a hydrangea bush like this, they can also be cool for spillers, as you can tell. So hydrangeas can use to fill in spaces, or hydrangeas can kind of do some of that spilling to give us some different layers with our piece also. So keep that in mind. I don't think I have my sunflowers with me, so I'm just going to kind of be working with mums today and keep filling this in. And I'm going to be adding some of this berry bush to give us another new color and kind of a new style coming out. And I can already see this coming together pretty nicely. Pretty happy with the way that it's going. And again, if I want to put it on a table where you're going to see all the different sides, I would definitely want to keep spinning it around as I go. So I need a little bit more, I can tell right around here. And I might want something kind of lower with this yellow. So I like this yellow at this height to kind of give it some more dimension. I don't want all my flowers to be at the same height. I want some of them to start lower than the other ones. So that extra yellow right there really kind of helps. Put another one over here. I a lot of times tend to work in odd numbers rather than even numbers. I don't try to do symmetry because sometimes symmetry can be really hard. And in nature, not everything is perfectly symmetric in nature either. So kind of keep that in mind. But I usually tend to work in odd numbers. So I'll put 3 of those flowers instead of 2 so that it doesn't look like it has to be so matchy-matchy and I don't have to work that way. I can pull this apart and use some little pieces of this. It's kind of like a thistle. It's almost like a dried piece. It's got a pretty big protector on it down here that I might be able to kind of crack off, and it would be easier for me to pull all these pieces apart. So I could work on cracking that plastic piece open in order to get me more of these pieces, but cutting them off at different heights is great. And then going ahead and kind of finding places for them to fill in anything that might be looking like it's a hole. I'm kind of doing this looking at the screen since I can't see the front of it myself, so bear with me. There we go. Looks like I need something right here. I think I might have just the right thing available. Ooh, let's see. I think it's right around here. I feel like I need something. There we go. Look at it. There we go. Much better. I love that right there. That really helped fill in that hole. And then I do want a little bit more blue around that piece I just put in. So I'm going to take some more ranunculus and I'm going to put it, not to cover what I just put in, but kind of put it down below it. Hopefully not to cover it. There we go. So I put in this little blue right here, kind of below that. I might need to move it down just a little tad again. Here we go. I'm gonna give that guy a place to shine. So look, in just what, 30 minutes together, we have made a really beautiful floral centerpiece. I can keep going and keep adding, and I probably will because I'm a maximalist, let's face it. I like beautiful things. So I want to see all the colors. I want to have all the things. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep adding. Ask questions if you have them in the chat, please. I see some of this blue right here needs a little bit something more down here. There we go with that, to kind of help that to fit back in. I'm gonna take some more of my berry bush because I really like this deep orange brick red almost color. I think that's a really pretty color that I'm working with. And I think we have plenty of time. So if it's cool with you, I know they're not on the menu, but I might take some of those bouquets and go ahead and make another one with another pumpkin I happen to have nearby. So hopefully you're still in it to see another one if you're available. See what other kind of styles we can come up with. Oops. There we go. All right. I'm calling this for now. I might still play around with it once I kind of get a better perspective on it. I think I might need a little bit more over here, but I really love the colors. I really love the fullness of it. I really love all the different things going on in this pumpkin. So I'm going to put this one to the side and then I'm going to go ahead and start another pumpkin. Don't worry, this time I don't have to cut the pumpkin in front of you because I have a pre-cut pumpkin. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of the foam in this one. So the question in the chat says, does the thriller have to be in the center? Great question. No, the thriller can be wherever you want it to be. It does not have to be central. But why I call it the thriller is because it draws my attention. So wherever it is, it's like the biggest rose or the most beautiful something, or wow, those ranunculus look amazing. Those peonies are so large. So something that grabs my eye is what I kind of consider the thriller. So there's another question about keep doing more centerpieces. Yay. Okay, good. We're on the same page then. I'm going to keep doing more centerpieces. I need to figure out, this one brick of foam is too large. So I do need to cut it down. I don't have another set of rocks, so that's why I'm using more bigger pieces of foam. And then I will definitely save these pieces that I'm breaking off. So somebody said in the chat that their carving is very rough. What I say to that is, do you see my carving? Do you see my carving on this? I don't. So I wouldn't worry too much about your carving being rough because you're not going to be able to see it with a lot of your other floral. And another good way to hide anything like that is, you can imagine that I have lots of flowers all over in my studio. Spanish moss. So if I find my bag of Spanish moss is beautiful. It spills over and it can do wonders for hiding any rough carving. So don't worry too much about trying to make it smoother. Another question says, where and how would we attach the top of the pumpkin if we cut it? I love that question. So let's see what I can grab in my studio. Let's see. All right, let us pretend that this is a dowel rod. And let us pretend that we stab the dowel rod into the top of your piece. And then you can use it as you would use a pick or a flower. And it just kind of gives that extra oomph. Now a bigger, let's see, do I have the top of this one? I don't think I do. But if you have something, you can kind of put it maybe over here. And it's like, oh, look, I'm a pumpkin. Like, that's cute, right? So you can hot glue the dowel rod. You can also push the dowel rod into this material and kind of stab it through. But then you might want to add a little bit of hot glue for security. But you can see it kind of like this, like, hey, I'm a pumpkin and this is my top hat kind of situation. Sorry, I'm crazy. All right, so I have my 2 blocks of foam. They're taller blocks of foam because I don't have my rocks in here. And if I want to use these other pieces to kind of wedge these, I can, and I probably will. So I'm gonna kind of push these in to wedge these into place. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so now I got some different places to put different flowers. And I do have one of these beautiful bouquets. I think I have two of these. Aha, look at me. So I have two of these bouquets, and let's see what these can turn into. This is going to be a shorter piece because these pieces are going to be shorter than my last one. So if I was using an even smaller pumpkin, I think that these would fit in nicely, but we're just going to make a shorter piece in general and kind of fuller off the top and see what happens. So we're kind of doing this one together. We are in this together. I'm going to start picking pieces of this apart. I'm not going to pull a ton of it apart because there's so much that's cool in here. I'm going to leave as much of it as I can. I'm definitely going to leave these two. I think these are both peonies. This might be a rose. It's hard to tell. I'm going to leave these two in the middle because I definitely want their height, but I might start breaking off some of these other pieces, but I'm definitely going to leave these two for sure. So I'm going to kind of pull off a few of these. This leaf. I'm going for it, doing it, happening. I'm just leaving these two in the center. Okay. All right, there we go. Push this down a little so you can see it. There we go. All right, now I have some pieces to work with. So these are already kind of my thrillers. They're here for the show. And I can use some of the other pieces to fill in or to just kind of balance out. These do move similar to the other ones, so I can kind of move some of these pieces up and down if I need to. I like this, giving it a different height from here. And how far you place it into the foam can also help you kind of fake some different heights. So if I want this one to be really short, this one to be kind of medium, and this one to be kind of tall, I can. So someone in the chat's asking, how do you decide how tall to make your flowers compared to your container? And I would say there's no wrong answer. I would say you can make anything look amazing if you just keep going. So I don't think scale is really going to be a big deterrent. I think either way is still going to look really beautiful for you. And just know, like, I know that this is going to end up a little shorter and stubbier. And maybe sometimes I want a shorter and stubbier piece because you can imagine if you're at a table, you don't want to talk over a centerpiece that's so large that you aren't going to be able to see the people. So sometimes you want something shorter on purpose. So this is probably a good idea for that. All right, I'm going to pull off a couple of these beautiful pieces too. And I love those leaves. Look at those beautiful red leaves. It's awesome. Felicia and I are currently in Texas, and it does not look like fall outside. So I hope where you are, that it's starting to look like fall where you are, and that you can enjoy those beautiful changes.
You are so right. It's like a second spring.
We are having another fake out. I thought it was going to get cooler, but nope. I love that. Moving this leaf around to kind of frame that orange flower. And I love this orange flower. It's really a good focal point too. So I'll put that more towards the center. It's going to give me some more of the orange over here. And this height is closer to the white one. So I'm kind of filling in some of that space by putting in this orange one right here. And I'm kind of making this one-sided so that you can see it better. I'm not going to focus on the 360. I have some more flowers to work with. Oh, that's really pretty. I think that is a rose. So I made sure not to put the white rose at the same height as the other white rose because I didn't want it to be too much of the same. Ooh, these are cool too. I love those. This dark blue and this very fall. I'm trying to decide if I want to leave this long. I think I do. I'm going to take these two off. Well, changing my mind. I'm going to leave these two on and leave them long because I think they're going to look really nice behind. Yep, they do. This orange tall flower. And then I think this leaf is a little bit overpowering. So I might need to move that one. I felt like that red leaf was just a lot. So I'm going to kind of move that off to the side. And then I'm going to bring some more of that orange in. Oh, I love it. This is giving me Canada, like with these giant maple leaves. I love that. And I do like the navy blue, but I feel like we could keep going and we could add some more flow to this. Let's see. There are, I think this is called like angel's wings or something like this. It's so pretty. It's like a feather. It is another pampas, but I think they call it angel wings, and you can see why. Yes, love. And I don't think I'd put in two because then I think it would look a little cheesy. So I think I'm just going to leave the one. And if we want to, remember I had those stems at the beginning, the little fox. How stinking cute will that be? I don't know. What do you think? The fox or the porcupine? Fox or porcupine? Which one do you think? Put it in the chat so I know which one. Fox. So far I see fox. Oh, fox is the big winner. Okay. You let me know. Oh my God. How cute. How cute is that fox in here? Oh my God, I love it. I feel like I need a little bit more blue. So I might need to kind of steal from something else or maybe kind of rearrange. Because I do like the blue. I just want to see some more of the blue, especially by putting that orange fox in. Maybe I'll move this. I love it. Yes. So this one that we, oh my God. Yep, I'm keeping this one. I'm keeping it for sure. So this that we just made, was just using two of those bouquets. And we had a little bit of the angel wings and we had our adorable fox. So this is probably an even more affordable piece than the one that we did before. So this is using several bushes. This is using several of the larger stems because as you can tell, it's a much longer piece than the other. So this one is a little shorter and stumpier. It probably would have been even better in a 6-inch pumpkin. This one that it's in right now is a 9-inch pumpkin. But remember, you can also paint your pumpkins and add that extra piece to it. So imagine if I paint for this pumpkin and then put this cute little floral piece into it. Yes, I am here for that. And I do want to go ahead and show you again this diorama pumpkin. It's a little skeleton in a bathtub taking a bath. So we're going to play around with these diorama pumpkins in the future. So if you enjoyed this floral crafting together and just kind of messing with things and figuring out what works together, you know I'm here for that. So I would love to see you again in one of these classes. Thank you so much for coming. Let me see if I have any other questions. It is not fall in San Antonio, and that is the truth. So I'm excited. Some people are going to do this. There are rocks that you can buy at Michael's. I had rocks in my backyard, so I just use rocks that I had in my backyard. But I also have, there's like vase filler, what we call vase filler at Michael's. Pieces of glass, pieces of rock, pebbles, different things like that, that can also give you some extra weight to make sure it doesn't tip over. I am absolutely going to do some holiday florals with you, so stick around. In November, we'll be starting our Christmas kind of celebrations. So we'll do centerpieces for Christmas. We'll also do wreaths and different things like that too. So I can't wait to see what all you make. Follow me personally at 4M Coleman, and you can see some of the different floral arrangements that I've created using Michael's flowers. And then also, if you happen to make anything, please tag us at Learn with Michael so that we can share your pieces with everyone too. So thank you so much for coming. oh my God, this box. And I will see you again soon. Bye, everybody.